Hey guys, a Wheelspin report here. I've been preoccupied with college lately, and I apologize for the lack of content. Today I want to briefly depart from the regular topics and give you a detailed guide on what to expect when attending your first NASCAR race. Anyways, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into the video. If you clicked on this video, you probably thought about buying your first NASCAR race tickets. You also have a basic knowledge of the sport but can only watch the broadcast from the comfort of your own home. But you want to experience the thunder and speed firsthand. You want to get in the groove. Today I will give you an in-depth guide on what to do for your first ever NASCAR race. Like any other sporting event, you have to buy tickets to see the product. With NASCAR, buying tickets is a little bit different. You must first know that a typical NASCAR weekend has multiple races in ascending order: the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. There are nearly hundreds of these races a year across more than 20 states, most limited to the East Coast and Southern states. Pick a track, a weekend that works for you, and start looking. For today's video, I have chosen the triple header weekend in Darlington, South Carolina. Sitting close to the track is not always the best option, unlike in other sports. Picking seats up high is an excellent choice. If you want to sit up close, that's great too. Ticket availability, just like in any other sporting event, depends on its anticipation. The best seats usually go out first in NASCAR's Super Bowl, the Daytona 500, and other crown jewel events, so plan accordingly. I drove about 5 hours from my house to get to my hotel in Florence, approximately 20 minutes from the track if you were like me. It is hot in the south nearly year-round, and the weather will creep up on you. Try and check the weather multiple days before you travel and pack accordingly. Pack sunscreen, a jacket, and even an umbrella or poncho if it rains. If it does rain during the race, you have to do some waiting for the track to get dry. That could last hours and the race could get delayed. Always be prepared. In that case, make sure you bring an extra battery pack or two to charge your phone. Trust me, you will need it. One of the most important things you will need is ear protection. NASCAR is very loud. Imagine a jet passing low over your house and shaking everything, but it's constant. Your ears will be begging for mercy if you do not bring ear protection. If you have handled a gun before, I recommend getting earmuffs from those activities. Cheap earplugs of any kind work as well. Gaming headphones like this guy brought are not going to be enough. Suppose you're an avid enthusiast of NASCAR like me. In that case, you might want to reserve a scanner to listen to the radios of your favorite drivers and get some vital information on what is happening before you. These scanners must be rented in advance and picked up at the Racing Electronics trailer, where you can have them for the entire race weekend. Be sure to return them though, as I'm sure they will charge you the total price of the set. Getting to the track nice and early should be your top priority. You can get to the race much later if heading to the Xfinity or Truck Series races. A lot of tracks will be in an unpopulated area, so be prepared to do some driving. Attendance is usually scarce at Truck Series races, but the Xfinity Series sees more people. I will discuss a Cup Series race, the most crowded of the three. Look at you, you've made it to the track. First thing you have to do is take that first picture. Great job. Well now, you gotta take more, and make it to an epic montage while you're at it. On second thought, just don't do that, but keep your phone out because you're gonna need it all day. First, visit the track website and find the race's fan guide. That will tell you all the events that are going on pre-race. Keep those pens handy for an autograph. At first, I looked for merchandise to buy. You will likely see rows of 18-wheeler trailers. These are the merchandise haulers. You can buy your race program and merchandise for your favorite driver here, but beware, the prices here are not ideal. You might see things as simple as a shirt go for even $30 or $40, and do not get me started on the diecast. Explore the campgrounds to find more reasonably priced memorabilia not limited to the current NASCAR era. Many tents with fans selling things from t-shirts, flags, and other cherished NASCAR items. This one tent was selling shirts for $5 or $10 a pop, and it had some rare stuff. As for diecast, you will find a lot of these. Mead Motorsports travels to most races, and they sell tons of diecast and other items for great prices. I got a 1/24 scale 2004 Brian Vickers diecast for them for only $15. The merchandise haulers will also be where your favorite driver might come. If you can stay up to date on their activities through Twitter or spoken word, you can get an easy autograph as I did from Noah Gragson and Justin Allgaier. The more popular the driver, the more people will be in line for a signature. If an autograph session is on the schedule, get there early. There are a ton of fun things you can do at the track. Today I headed over to the NASCAR stage, where I got to take a couple of laps at Darlington on iRacing in a 1987 Monte Carlo. I also sat down and played some free arcade games before doing a bit more exploring. I saw Neil Bonnet, Sitco, Monte Carlo, and many other super cool stock cars. I then headed over to a shady spot and met Bob Pockris, one of the top journalists for NASCAR. I also met Chris Rice, president of Colic Racing, and the spotters for some of my favorite drivers. I then headed over to the trackside live stage and found my way to the backstage entrance. This is where I met most of the Cup Series drivers like Chris Buescher, Corey LaJoie, Brad Keselowski, and Kurt Busch. Some will give autographs and some will not, but all will wave at you with a kind smile. Also, don't push other people out of the way to get an autograph, just be patient. I opted to get tickets to the pre-race experience for the race today. You will get to set foot on the track and get up close and personal with the cars and drivers themselves. However, keep an eye on the time. Driver intros usually start 30 minutes before they command to fire engines, so make haste in getting back to your seat in time. And now for the race itself. Make sure you have everything you need and a full stomach. Time for the green flag. NASCAR Cup Series races are long. Some 400 miles, 500, and one is 600. Today's race is 400 miles. Make sure you hydrate. Sometimes they can last up to 4 hours, so make sure your appetite is quenched and you have a cooler or water bottle on hand. I do not recommend eating at the track though, as prices are very exorbitant. Eventually, you have to concede to some chicken tenders. Once again, have your phone or camera on hand for some video memories. You might even capture some exciting moments like I did. When you attend a NASCAR race, it is very crowded. If you do not like huge crowds, try your best to avoid them. Just like in everyday life, you run into a few bad apples. Some NASCAR fans are very passionate about certain things outside of racing and are not afraid to be loud about it. Do not let this discourage you. All the people I ran into from all walks of life were very kind. I even met some people who came all the way from France to see the race. I do not speak any French, but be sure to put on your kindest face to new fans, as more often than not, what they experience will decide if they go to another race. Just be courteous. When getting a driver's autograph or a picture, make sure they want to and ask them. For example, I saw Mark Martin in his golf cart and I panicked and just waved, and he kindly waved back. You have to remember the drivers and legends are people too, and they have a schedule to keep. They do not want to be late to a press conference and get fined because you decided to slash your tires on their golf cart just to simp for Chris Buescher. Nobody's ever done that, but just catch my drift, will ya? One last thing, and it's a big one. NASCAR fans are rowdy, huge party animals. This only usually applies to younger fans. If you've ever been to a high school party or a college frat party, that is sort of what the atmosphere is like. A lot of people at the races smoke and drink heavily. If you're sensitive to tobacco or vape smoke and someone is puffing near you, the chances are that is a signal to find a suitable seat further away. Drinking, on the other hand, is far more common. Every once in a while, you will run into that person who has had way too much to drink. I was very close to a drunk fan who decided it would be a good idea to throw a full beer can over the catch fence where it nearly hit John Hunter Nemechek, who won the truck race. Do not be that guy. Trust me, there are plenty of state troopers who would be more than happy to escort you out or flat out ban you from ever attending a race again. Seriously, do not be that guy. The race is over. The winner does burnouts and post-race interviews. Look at you. You saw your first NASCAR race. Well done. Now it is time to leave, sadly. Traffic on the way out is usually pretty crowded, but depending on the race, like the Southern 500 or the Daytona 500, it will take a while to get to your car and leave. And so you get to your car, traffic eventually thins out, and you begin to think about going to your next race. Rinse and repeat. Hey guys, this is a different video from the norm. I want to clarify that this will or will not apply to other tracks, but expect things very similar. I have traveled to many NASCAR races and I've run into countless confused fans. Trust me, I was confused too when I went to my first NASCAR race. But now you won't because you've watched this video. I just wanted to help those thinking about their first race and what they should expect. And now I want to pass this on to you. What have been your fondest memories of attending a NASCAR race? Who did you meet? If you have questions, drop them below and suggestions for future videos. Be sure to like and subscribe for more NASCAR content. This has been the Wheelspin Report. Catch you next time.